This is a difficult book to review because the author, Cyrus Lakdawala, has really made a big job. He really gives you an opening repertoire. What do I mean by opening repertoire? It means that with this opening, he covers every possibility that black has to try to enter other openings and gives you what you should play. And this is not generally done by many. Many authors, they just give you their variants and their line, and if the other opponent changes and is not inside those lines, you don't know what to do. Instead, here, and I want to show you this because it's really great, Lakdawala did the job, okay? Why? Please. With this kind of opening, in reality, black could enter the French defense, the Caro-Kann defense, the Pirc and modern defense, the Schmidt-Benoni, Owen's defense, and of course, he can play the Dutch. So, if on d4 he plays the Dutch, what do you do? As you can see, he covered it all. So, he did his job. And that's great, because it means that when you pay your money for this book, you really got it all, no? And that's what I really love. Then, of course, there is the format of the book that is based on asking you questions. I will try to do a couple of games, or few games from different chapters, because I believe that you should have practically a kind of overview. And also because I'm curious, honestly. I'm really curious to see what's going on. Okay? So, let's start. I would like to begin with two games from chapter 1. One is game 4, played by Richter against Grob. Grob is the guy that actually invented this, okay? In Stuttgart, 1939. Here the author of the book says Richter must have been cursing the fact that he got the white pieces in this game. If he had black, his opponent, Henry Grob, the father of the Grob attack, could have surely opened with 1g4, from which he mulishly refused to ban. In my opinion, 1g4 falls into a category a shade below reputable, although I am Michael Bassman may disagree. So let's see what Richter played in 1939. d4, knight f6, knight c3, b6. Another oddball opening. Is black playing an accelerated Queen's Indian without c2, c4, or a delayed Owen's defense? e4, bishop b7. And here, however, sometimes I don't read it, but the author covers also other openings, like what happens if he plays this, and so it tells you you have to play this, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the author is doing really his job, his homework for us, and then it's up to us eventually study and improve it. Okay, e5 and knight e4. This is a dubious move. This inaccuracy allows Richter to take over the initiative with a series of forceful moves. Principle: if you are going to experiment, then do so with a healthy fear of the result, should your idea be incorrect. And so he says that probably the position would have been better after this move, okay? And he gives a line. How does white continue? Queen f3. Very interesting move. d5. Now there is an interesting thing. By the way, the author also show you what happens after this move, okay? If you're curious, well, by the book. I'm not gonna do it over the board, because sometimes the problem is that there are no diagrams to bring the position back from the beginning of that line, and so I don't want to make mistakes on a video. That's the reason. Now, after d5, white continues with bishop b5. And notice that this is the move played in the game, but this would be a mistake. Why? Because this is the right answer, and of course, if you buy the book, you will see all the lines that the author put in, okay? c6, and now what would you play as white? Well, he played e6, clearly an exciting game already. Here the author says, for Richter, a shady sacrifice was his cure-all tonic for all non-chess ailments. In this rare example, his sacrifice is completely sound. So this is a good move. F takes e6, knight takes e4, d takes e4, queen h5, check, and king d7. This is a mistake, it seems. And the author writes, how can I put this diplomatically? Black's position sucks. I can confidently claim that Grob at this point was rummaging through his pockets for a Xanax tablet or 2 or 3, which, as the advertisement claimed, is used to treat symptoms of anxiety, panic disorder, and anxiety associated with depression. He was better off giving up the exchange with 9g6. So it seems that the author found through a computer line that this was a better move. But obviously, when you are in a tournament game, it's difficult to use a computer, right? At least if you are not some player. Bishop c4, bishop a6, obviously is not getting out from there, so it's trying to find another way. And the white doesn't want to exchange right away because he's still attacking. Bishop b3, king c8, and bishop takes d6. King b7. Oh, so this is the interesting thing. The king was running away. Bishop f4 and knight d7. Here the author shows that this move wasn't good at all, and it gives a line in which white gives checkmate. Can you believe that? Okay, I will actually check this line and then I will put the position back as it was, okay, because I'm curious how does white gives checkmate. Rook b1, queen takes b2, bishop c8, king takes c8, queen e8, king b7, rook d7, knight takes d7, and queen takes d7, checkmate. Wow, we have clearly given up a lot of material in order to give checkmate, because we have 2 pawns, 1 rook, and 1 bishop. 1 bishop and 1 knight, okay, but 1 rook and 2 pawns is the real. Okay, now I will pause the video and bring the position back. Okay, so this was the position, and black played knight d7 instead of grabbing the pawn and getting checkmated, or grabbing pawns and getting checkmated. Knight d7, d5, and now black make another mistake, knight f6. After this, there is no way to tame the beast, since black's bad predicament became a bit more bad predicament here. 14 c5 was false, so instead of this, you should have played this. Okay, interesting. D takes c6, king takes c6, and queen h3, and black plays g5. So it seems that black position cannot be saved also if black plays king d7, and here the offer gives a line. So not possible. Bishop e5, king d7, rook d1, queen e8, and bishop takes f6. Good move. This allows a rook infiltration to d7. So he took the knight f6 because so he can take control of this square. He takes f6, rook d7, king c6, rook d5. Look how great it is to have a queen here, huh? Sorry, so bishop d5 and king b5. This guy on b5 is a commoner dressed as a king. There is no need for words when our eyes tell us everything. Yeah, it's really terrible, that position. c4. Even stronger, the author says is knight e2, and here it gives a line, which is like 7 moves, in which white gives checkmate. So obviously that line must have been calculated by an engine, because only engine can see this stuff in a fraction of a second. It's crazy. c4, king e5, and e3, intending to play king c3, so he cannot play bishop b4 because it takes. e3. This is a desperate attempt to block the white queen out of the attack, and it gives another line with b5 in which black gets checkmated. So imagine that, it's crazy. So e3, b4, king e4, knight e2, good move, bishop c8, and queen f5. The queen will be transferred to c2. Richter may have not been the greatest strategist in the history of chess, but man, this guy could attack. So black plays queen e5, but it was also possible to play bishop d7. And I want to show you this line because there is luckily the diagram, so we can return back to the position easily. Queen c2, king takes a3, king c3, king a4, castle, e takes f2, king h1, bishop takes b4, rook a1, bishop a3, and now there is finally the checkmate. Can you see the checkmate? Rook takes a3, checkmate. Okay, now I will pause the video and go back to the position so we can start from there. Okay, now we are back into the position from which I show you the checkmate in like, what, 26, 6 moves. That's it. Queen e5, queen c2, king takes a3. The black king is one of those downtown apocalyptic street corner preachers who shout themselves hoarse while waving their customary end of the world sign. In this case, he is partially correct, in that it is the end of the world, but only for himself. Castle, bishop takes d7. And now there is a diagram, and the author asks you the following question. Exercise calculation. Without moving the pieces, try and work out white's force mate in 5 in your mind's eye. So, pause the video, put this position on your board, or pause the video and check the board like that, but obviously you need to be white, and you need to find out the mate in 5 moves, okay? The answer is transfer the rook to b1, threatening queen b3, mate. So rook b1, he takes f2, rook f1, no, sorry, not rook f1, king f1, bishop a4, king c1, king a2, and now you play the checkmate. Can you see the checkmate? No, there is not a checkmate, sorry. Is c5, check, but this is the important thing because this queen is keeping this square, that is where the checkmate would happen, right? So once you take, there is this, or this, and this checkmate, okay? So this was a beautiful game, and let's see the next one by Veresov. So but that's why the opening is called Richter-Veresov, and is played in Minsk in 1971. I will put the cover just to show the